I think most AI beginners are asking the wrong question. They're asking, what's the best AI side hustle? What's the fastest way to make money? What should I start with? But after ranking 10 AI side hustles in my last video, I started noticing something strange. The people making money weren't necessarily choosing better opportunities, and the people making nothing weren't necessarily choosing bad ones. So what was the difference? Because once I saw it, it explained why so many beginners spend months or even years getting nowhere. Hi, I'm Kendra from Rise Digital Online. I spend a lot of time looking into AI opportunities, online business ideas, side hustles, and all the advice being thrown around online. Not because I think I have all the answers, but because I want to know what actually matters and what doesn't. And before we get into this, if you're trying to figure out what works online without wasting months chasing the wrong things, hit subscribe. That's exactly what this channel is about. Now, when I finished ranking those 10 side hustles, I thought the big takeaway would be obvious. Some opportunities were clearly better than others, some had more potential, some were probably worth avoiding. Case closed, except it wasn't. Because the more I looked at people who were actually making money online, the less the opportunity itself seemed to matter. At first, I thought maybe they were just smarter, maybe they got in earlier, maybe they had better tools, maybe they found some secret everyone else had missed. That would have made sense, but when I looked closer, that theory started falling apart. Because the people succeeding were doing completely different things. Some were selling AI services, some were creating content, some were building digital products. Some were doing affiliate marketing, some were freelancing, some weren't even using much AI at all. Different models, different niches, different strategies, different tools. Yet somehow they were getting similar results. And that's when I noticed the one thing they all had in common. They were still doing it months later, sometimes years later. And suddenly I couldn't stop thinking about that, because if opportunity wasn't the biggest factor, maybe something else was. Think about how most people get started. You discover ChatGPT. Your mind explodes with possibilities. You start watching videos, saving ideas, reading articles, researching business models. Everything feels exciting. Everything feels possible. Then a week later, somebody tells you AI automation is the future. So now you're researching AI automation. Then somebody else says faceless YouTube channels are exploding. Now you're looking at those. Then it's digital products. Then affiliate marketing. Then AI agents. Then prompt engineering. Then something else. And every new opportunity feels smarter than the last one. Every new opportunity feels like the answer. And that's where I think most beginners get trapped. Because from the outside, it feels like progress. You're learning, you're researching, you're staying informed. But are you? Or are you just restarting? That question kept bothering me. Because every time you switch directions, something invisible happens. You go back to the beginning. Not completely, but enough. You lose momentum, you lose context, you lose experience, you lose all the small lessons that only show up after you've been doing something long enough, the lessons nobody can teach you, the lessons that don't fit into a YouTube video, the lessons that usually appear right before things start working. And most people never stay long enough to reach them. Here's a quick question. What's the longest you've ever stuck with one online business idea? A week, a month, 6 months? Drop it in the comments, because I think the answer might explain a lot more than people realize. Now here's the part that genuinely surprised me. I originally thought success online was mostly about making smart choices, choosing the right niche, finding the right opportunity, using the right tools. But the more I looked into it, the more I started changing my mind. Because there has never been a time when people have had access to more opportunities than they do right now. Every day there's a new AI tool, a new business model, a new shortcut, a new expert, a new strategy, a new promise, a new video telling you that everything you're doing is wrong, and every one of them makes your current project feel boring. That's dangerous. Because the moment something feels boring, most people assume it isn't working. But what if boring isn't the problem? What if boring is actually where progress begins? That completely changed how I look at this. Because the people making money online aren't usually chasing the most opportunities. They're often the people who stayed focused while everyone else got distracted. Imagine two people starting today. One spends the next year chasing every new AI opportunity they discover. The other spends the next year getting slightly better at one thing. Neither journey looks exciting, neither journey looks impressive, but one of them is quietly building momentum. And momentum compounds. That's the part nobody talks about. Not talent, not intelligence, not even AI skills, momentum. The ability to keep moving in the same direction long enough for results to start stacking on top of each other. And once I started looking at online success through that lens, something changed. The question stopped being, what's the best AI side hustle? And became, which opportunity am I willing to stick with when the excitement disappears? That's a completely different question. And honestly, I think it's a much better one. Because most AI beginners aren't failing because they chose the wrong opportunity. They're failing because they're choosing a new one every month. The real trap isn't picking badly. The real trap is never giving anything enough time to work. But after discovering that, I started asking another question. If consistency matters this much, why are some people able to stay focused while everyone else gets distracted? For years, I thought the answer was discipline. Now I'm not so sure. And what I discovered next completely changed how I think about success online. So if you're enjoying this series, make sure you're subscribed. Because in the next video, we're talking about what I'd do if I started again with $0 and stuck with that idea instead of changing it up and chasing the next supposed guaranteed moneymaker. Trust me, it will be a great video to watch if you really want to start something meaningful that works.